So in the previous video, when I was talking about building this bumper, I told y'all and showed y'all that I had to cut the ends of the frame off on both sides in order to put the winch plate on top of the frame, bolt it through, and then weld it up. And I never did get around to welding the end of the frames up because I want to cover those holes so snow, dirt, all of that doesn't get inside because it's a Toyota. They like to rust. And I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is, my idea is, this is 3/16 inch steel. I'm just going to put that on each end of the frame like that. Leave this hole and weld it up. Weld this to the bottom of the winch plate and then add gussets. Maybe two or three, I don't know. And round the corners off. Because like I said, I don't want that to be wide open for, mud, dirt, gravel, snow, anything like that to get inside. Because these things are prone to rusting. These 3rd gen 4Runners are notorious for the frame rusting, and I really don't want that to happen. It already had one spot the size of a quarter, and I went ahead and cut that out and welded in new metal. I don't like doing that. I don't want to do it no more. So I want to get this frame covered up the best I can. Of course, there is holes out through the frame from factory. There's a couple drain holes, stuff like that. But I would just rather not the end of the frame to be wide open for anything that wants to be inside of it to get inside of it. So in today's video, I'm going to cover this up with this piece of metal. So just to show y'all again, this is what I'm talking about. From factory, you have a plate that sits here, and it's pretty wide, and that's what your original bumper bolts into. So I cut that off in order to set the winch plate on top and, as you see, bolt it through whatever and weld it up. So this is what I want to cover. It's like this on both sides. Right now I do have fluid film all over it and on the inside. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, get all the fluid film off of it, and then we'll start cutting and welding. So with the light bar out of the way, that's all I want to do. Weld that on both sides and add some gussets from here to there. So I'm just going to cut this so it's about even on both sides of the frames. And that measured out to 31.5. So I'm going to take a grinding wheel and clean all this up, try to get most of the paint off of it. So I got both sides all welded up. There was a bigger gap I had to fill in because this thing's kind of warped just a little bit. Hey, don't judge my welds either. Like I said, this is my 3rd time welding, and it's with that $100 welder. I feel like if I had a better welder, wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, so that thing's kind of warped. The winch plate's kind of warped. So there's a gap all the way down, which is fine. I mean, the main reason I was doing this is to cover the frame, but I was kind of wanting to weld this to the winch plate for more support for the bumper, but it's all right. I still may add some gussets on that, at least 2. So this is the piece of metal that I have left over after cutting the end of the piece that I put off on the frame ends. I'm gonna make 2 small gussets out of it to put kind of like in the middle of that piece, because it's kind of flimsy in the middle a little bit. Not really, but a little bit. This is more or less just to keep that from happening. I am going to weld it to the winch plate, so it's probably a little more support for the bumper, but nothing major. I'm just kind of doing this for shats and giggles, as they say. Just to kind of make these even, there's these bolts for the winch. There's some back here, and of course right here. I'm kind of just lining that up in the middle of those bolts just to make it look kind of even. I'm not really too worried about it. You can't see it, and if you want to look for it, then look for it. I don't really care. Got those welded in. Thing's solid. Good enough for me. Clean it up a little bit. Take that sticker off, and then I'm gonna paint over everything. And then move on to filling that in. So my idea for this is just to take a hole saw, cut it out, stick that piece in there, and then tack it on. I don't have a drill press, so the hole saw is probably going to walk around. So I'll just have to use the drill bit in it, in the chuck or whatever, and then take the welder and fill in the hole where the drill bit went through. Put that piece in and weld it in, grind it a little bit, and paint it, and she'll be good to go. All right, like I said, I don't have a drill press, so if I don't have the drill bit in this, it's just gonna walk around everywhere. So I'm just gonna drill this out, and the piece that comes out, I'm gonna weld the hole back up from the drill bit, and weld that on the end of the pops for the bumper where it's open at. All right, so the hole from the drill bit here, I'm just gonna weld that up and then put that in the end of the pop, weld around it to close that up. Alright, so I got that hole welded up from the drill bit. I'm going to put this in the end of the bumper there. Weld this in. I'm going to grind it down as flat as I can, and then should be good to go. I'm going to weld this up. Also, don't worry about the trim. She's fine. Call the fire department. See, it looks bad, but you just wipe it down. It's fine. It's okay. Alright, so got that done, got the other side done. You could never tell anything was done there. So I'm gonna throw some paint on that and the ends here. Get everything painted up and put the light bar back on. We'll be good to go. Alright, got everything painted up. Got these ends covered. Got the frame, end of the frame covered, both sides. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I did. So, yeah, that's the end of the video.